Experience the future of packaging and processing up close and in action. Explore groundbreaking innovations, engage with hands-on solutions, and connect with the experts transforming the industry. See how these advancements can revolutionize your products, production lines, and business. It all starts here. Don't miss out. Register today at packexpolasvegas.com/unpackedpod. We interrupt our regular schedule of Unpacked with PMMI podcasts, as these are anything but regular times. Hi, I'm Sean Riley. Today we are pleased to have Patty Andersen from Delkor on the podcast. Not only is Patty Vice President of Human Resources and Aftermarket Services at Delkor, but she is the first female elected to PMMI's Executive Committee in its 87-year history. Patty and Delkor are always willing to lend a hand to fellow PMMI members, the packaging and processing industry, and manufacturing at large. Today, she speaks to Delkor's efforts to ensure the safety and well-being of their staff, how they have reassured employees that they have their best interests at heart, and how other HR representatives can secure aid via the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. In fact, as a major supplier to the food supply chain, Delkor is actually looking to add more workers to keep up with increasing demand. All right, and with that, welcome to the podcast, Patty.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Well, trust me, the pleasure is all ours, and thank you again for squeezing this into your busy schedule. Obviously, right now, with everything going on, employees are scared, and a lot of them are looking to their employers, to their companies, to kind of reassure them. What has Delkor done to make the staff that is still coming in every day as essential workers feel safe and valued?
Well, first of all, where job functions allow for it, our employees are working remotely. So there are very few workers in the office portion of our facility. And then to maintain continuity among the office staff, we've initiated the daily Scrum meeting, which is attended by all participants, regardless of whether they're working remotely or they're in the office. So that allows the in-plant employees to join the meetings from their cubicle or from their office. So essentially, we've eliminated all group conference room gatherings. So that's the first thing that we've done. Then on the production floor, our work cells have been set up so that we're maintaining the 6-foot distance from coworkers as much as possible. And that's not always entirely able to do that, but as much as possible. In some instances, we've ended up taping off areas and added heightened awareness for this requirement. And then we're making every effort in the work environment to be safe. We have gloves and masks are being provided for use on a voluntary basis. And the other thing that we've done is we're paying double time for any hours worked over 40 because we want to thank our hourly employees for their assistance during this national crisis. I must say that's been very well received, Sean.
Wow, that's awesome. That's very impressive.
Yeah, that's great. And then with respect to supporting our customers, we've scaled back the number of rotating service techs that are working in the field. So before we had a large crew, now we have a designated group. And those designated travelers continue to work remotely when they're back in town until their next field assignment. So they're not coming back into Delkor on an intermittent basis. And of course, as most companies have done, we've eliminated visits to our facility by all customers and vendors. And then finally, in the area of employee engagement and connectiveness, we've temporarily closed our workout facility. We have a workout gym at Delkor, and we've stored the ping pong tables, which was a hard thing to do. And we've removed probably about 50% of the tables and chairs from our 2 lunchrooms, so employees are sufficiently separated when they're having their breaks.
That's terrific. It seems like you've hit every, some of the minor things that people wouldn't think of, but like you said, the ping pong, the tables and stuff like that in the lunchroom, things that, that can bring people together that you have to kind of separate. So that's interesting. Have you instituted any protocols involving, temperature testing for employees before they enter the plant floor, since they are going to be around each other?
No, we haven't moved in that direction because an individual can be asymptomatic and still have the virus. So what we've done is we've asked anyone who feels unwell to stay home and to continue to do so for 3 days beyond the point where their symptoms begin to fully subside. And if we had an employee that was exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19, they would be told to self-quarantine for 14 days. We haven't had that yet. And of course, if a worker ended up testing positive for the virus, they would have to continue to stay home until completely well. What we are doing is following the CDC guidelines for maintaining employee health and safety in the workplace.
How about things around extra cleaning? You know, some companies are shutting down for a shift every couple days or in between shifts just to kind of disinfect or sanitize. It's in some cases I've heard it makes the employees feel like, you know, they're being taken care of and being made to feel safe. So I'm just curious what Delkor is doing.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So we have our regular cleaning crew, but in addition to that, we've assigned employee teams to sanitize various sections of the building twice a day. So those teams disinfect and sanitize and wipe down tables, chairs, countertops, doorknobs, and the equipment on the production floor. What we've decided to do is put up a cleaning schedule, so we post that throughout the building, which is a really good visual reminder to frequently wash your hands as you walk by and you see that a lunchroom or whatever it is has just been cleaned. And that's just another reminder for you. And then the other thing that we've done just recently is we relocated all of our banking of lunchroom microwaves. We spread them out. We put them in different places to allow the production floor workers to come up and quickly access the microwaves for reheating their food while maintaining the 6-foot distance from their coworkers over their lunch breaks.
Very interesting. How many, just out of curiosity, people are still plant wise, like coming in on the plant floor? How large or small are those shifts?
Oh, it's probably over 100 people.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess you've kind of touched on this, that some businesses are allowing employees to self quarantine. You discussed how some people are quarantining, and they're using their paid time off or sick leave, followed by, you know, time without pay and stuff like that. You've touched on it a little bit. Could you expand on that a little more? How Delkor is handling, you know, people who think they may be sick and don't want to come into the office or come into the plant?
Sure. We've tried to be very generous in that area. So we're allowing our employees to go up to 60 hours in arrears on their PTO account. So once that option is exhausted, then they transition to unpaid time off. Fortunately, we haven't really had anyone express the need to do that yet. Delkor is very busy supporting customers, and we're actually in the process of hiring probably 35 to 40 new employees to handle all the volume of activity. So we have a lot of business in the food industry, and we're trying to make it so that the employees can be here as much as possible. But we also understand that some people might have compromised immune systems or something else going on where they don't feel comfortable, and we want to address that as well.
Wow. So your business is actually increasing during this?
Yes, it's increasing very quickly.
Wow. That's amazing. I know there's the Family Medical Leave Act and paid sick policies and things like that have changed. And many companies that might listen to this are unsure how to implement these changes or how it's going to affect them. Is this something that Delkor's had to deal with, or would you have any tips or insights on how you've given some, but how you guys have dealt with kind of, you know, paid sick leave policies and stuff like that?
Yeah, so as any HR professional knows, the expanded FMLA leave that's associated with Families First COVID-19 Response Act, it's substantially different from traditional FMLA leave. And that's both in terms of what the eligibility requirements are and the qualifying reason for the leave. So we have added a separately coded category to our HRIS system for payroll purposes. And that is allowing us to now track absences that meet eligibility requirements under the Act, whether it's a paid sick leave for either the individual worker or for a family member, or expanded FMLA leave. So we will use that information to file for federal employer tax credit reimbursement funding later this year.
Okay, very interesting.
So,
I mean, that was it. That's the things that I wanted, that we wanted to hit, Patty. Unless there's anything else that you can think of that I missed, these are the kind of questions we were looking for.
Yep. Well, I think the COVID-19 podcasts that PMMI are putting together, it's great. It's a great resource for sharing information for collectively as we move through this. And I can say thanks again, Sean. I mean, stay positive, stay healthy. It's a new uncharted water that we're working through. We're all in it together, and I'm actually very confident that we'll be back on track real soon. So thank you.